Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. Is he strong? Lives in mud. He's got radioactive blood. Can he swing from a thread? Take a look overhead. Hey there goes the Spider-Man. In the chill of night, at the scene of a crime, like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Welcome fed, he's ignored. Action is his reward to him. Life is a great big bang. Wherever there's a hang, you'll find the Spider-Man.
Welcome to Pendejo No More, aka Dumbass to Smartass.
The show where we see how we can solve fictional characters and sometimes real people's messes by wrestling up fictional and sometimes practical ways to fix the messes.
Today we have quite a few that all connect to the theme of guilt.
Peter Parker, Charlie, Hamlet, Ophelia, Mr. Darcy, Ron DeSantis, and Trump.
I've never seen so many pretty girls in my life.
You are dancing with the only handsome girl in the room.
She is the most beautiful creature I have ever beheld. But her sister Elizabeth is very agreeable.
Perfectly tolerable, I dare say. She's not handsome enough to tempt me. You'd better return to your partner and enjoy her smiles. You're wasting your time with me.
Friend Miss Lucas is a most amusing young woman.
Oh, yes, I adore her. It is a pity she's not more handsome. Mama? Oh, but Lizzie will never admit that she's plain. Of course, it's my Jane who is considered the beauty of the county. When she was only 15, there was a gentleman so much in love with her that I was sure he would make her an offer. However, he did write her some very pretty verses.
And that put me to it. I wonder who first discovered the power of poetry in driving away love.
I thought the poetry was the food of love.
Of a fine stout love it may. But if it is only a vague inclination, I'm convinced one poor sonnet will kill it stone dead.
So what do you recommend to encourage affection?
Dancing.
If Mr. Darcy had our bracelet, he would have known to act beyond his own pride and prejudice in a more respectful and open-minded manner with Elizabeth and her family. By stopping himself from making hasty judgments, Mr. Darcy could have avoided causing unnecessary pain and strife between him and Elizabeth, ultimately leading more to a more harmonious and early resolution of their misunderstandings.
Next up is Charlie from Perks of Being a Wallflower. Before he picks up that phone to tell his sister, the sense from our device gets him to take his hand away.
I wish everyone who's gone through suicide had this device, especially if Ron DeSantis had this bracelet. He wouldn't be able to contribute to any more suicides in the queer community.
Exactly, and before he started creating any bills like the Don't Say Gay bill or any decision related to going against the queer communities, he would get a chill, a feeling almost that he's about to do something that will actively and negatively affect this world. If these bracelets existed, his reputation wouldn't be so horrible. Sure, but also the world would be a much safer place for minorities, like queer people living in America and around the world.
I strongly agree. Speaking of America, let's talk about its former president, Trump. There are many instances where the former President Donald Trump could have benefited from the Pendejo No More patent pending bracelet, like January 6th and the withdrawing from the Paris Agreement. But the one I want to talk about is a controversial travel ban executive order issued in January 2017. This policy faced significant legal challenges and was criticized significantly for its impact on individuals and families, as well as for its potential harm to diplomatic relations. With Pendejo No More, Trump could have taken a moment to evaluate the potential consequences and consider alternative approaches before implementing such a divisive policy.
Speaking with someone who doesn't consider everyone in the situation, continuing with Charlie from Perks of Being a Wallflower. In this clip here, he only considers what would make him feel better in the moment and doesn't consider the bigger picture over the long run when referring to himself and his emotions or the people that care about him. If he had this bracelet during these times, he wouldn't make most or all of the extremely selfish decisions he made in this book.
You want to talk about selfish, Michael? Let's talk Hamlet. The entire play consisted of this dude being indecisive, and when he did make a decision, it was always a bad one. Hamlet often acted impulsively and made rash decisions, which ultimately led to his downfall. When Hamlet finds out that Claudius, his uncle and the king, is guilty of murdering his father, he feels a strong desire for revenge. However, if he had her bracelet, he would have realized it was a bad idea. Instead of plotting, Hamlet would have spent his time finding a way to expose Claudius and getting justice through legal means. By using Pendejo No More, he would have taken a step back and evaluated his options more objectively, potentially avoiding some of the tragic consequences that resulted from his impulsive actions.
Going on the opposite side of Lilia's coin now, let's talk about one of, if not the most selfless character in all of media, Spider-Man. So just like Charlie, Peter only thought about what would make the situation better in that very moment, rather than taking the time to see that the problem wasn't that extreme in the first place, and was actually pretty solvable. If he had the bracelet, he would see how to protect his loved ones better, the right spell for Doctor Strange to cast, and more decisions on. So,
with all that being said, I'm not going to call you amazing. He put that in the script.
Because the "You Are Amazing" is from the...
Just get on to it. Why am I not being called amazing? That's what I would like to
And
know.
don't be a dumbass.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. Is he strong? Lives in mud. He's got radioactive blood. Can he swing from a thread? Take a look overhead. Hey there goes the Spider-Man. In the chill of night, at the scene of crime, like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, well contained, he's ignored. Action is his reward to him. Life is a great big bang. Wherever there's a hang, you'll find the Spider-Man.